Thank you so much. I'm very excited to speak with both of you, JD Payne, Patrick McKay, the guys in charge of Rings of Power, my new favorite show.
Oh, thank you.
I love it. I don't know if you can see. I come arm down.
Amazing. So cool. That's awesome.
Both seasons have been really exciting. Season 1 set the stage. Season 2 took it to another level. What's one critical piece of feedback from season 1's reception that really influenced your approach to season 2?
So this is interesting. So we basically released season 1 the exact same time we started shooting season 2. So season 2 had already been written essentially and designed and everything and prepped when we first shared season 1 with an audience. However, we are our own biggest critics. And I think we're enormously proud of season 1, but also, I think season 1 was a trial and error, like it is with any show. You're finding, who your people are. You're finding what your actors can do. You're finding what the right tone and shape of the show is. And all that institutional knowledge benefited season 2 in our minds in many ways. We also think the show took a big step up. And I think that's just because everybody involved knew what they were making now. We weren't making it for the first time. And we were able to kind of learn from what really worked and maybe from stuff that didn't work as well as we all might have hoped. And also, our actors now, we knew how to write for them.
Yeah.
And we knew how to give them stuff. When somebody can hit the fastball, you can now throw them a fastball. And that's the case across the board with production design. And our director, Charlotte Brandstrom, she was returning from season 1. So hopefully it was, knowing what lane the show wants to be in and being able to start pounding the gas pedal.
Thank you both so much for that. And thank you for everything that you're doing in this series. It goes without saying that you guys are doing a lot for everyone that's involved. So thank you for all of that. I'm really proud of your work.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, one of the main standout things, for me anyway, was the relationship between Galadriel and Sauron, or Halbrand, or Anatar in season 1 and 2. We've seen different sides of Sauron. What other sides of Sauron are you excited for fans to see next?
Well, now, I think, we can't talk too much about season 3, but I think we can talk about him as a character in the series as a whole. One of the things he does that's so unique is, a lot of times, you'll find a villain, and he's like, there's a weakness there. The guy's an alcoholic. We can get him have a drink, and he's going to fall to pieces, and then we're going to be able to exploit it. That's not how Sauron operates. Sauron says, what's strength? How do I sort of take this strength and co-opt it and use it for my own ends? He's a parasite. He's a parasite. And so we saw him do it with Galadriel season 1, where he was able to get an army. We got him. It's on do it at season 2 with Celebrimbor, where he's able to use Celebrimbor's artistry and mastery of craft to make the rings. And we know in canon there's some other things eventually that he will do. Eventually there's a Farazan relationship that I think fans know they're going to see with Sauron. So and every time he's able to sort of present himself as like what do you need me to be? I'm the guy, and he's able to sort of go in there and take advantage of that.
I love that. I love that reference to him, like he's a parasite. That really sinks into the character the way that I've seen him. What would you both say when you look back on season 2 that this is the creative choice that you're most proud of?
So we, I think probably what JD would have been about to say is I think the relationship between Celebrimbor and Sauron and the two Charlies, Charlie Vickers and Charles Edwards, there was a lot of talk about, Galadriel and Sauron's relationship season 1 is an adventure, right? They're stranded on the ocean. There's a sea monster. There's a storm. They get thrown in prison in Numenor. Now they're going to fight a battle. It's an adventure. It's rollicking. Sauron and Celebrimbor's is dialogue in a room. It is psychological in nature. It's a descent, but it's an emotional descent. There's emotional violence to it. It's not an adventure. It's a different kind of, core engine for the second season. And that actually, in retrospect, is a big chance that this would be delightful and hopefully gripping and thrilling, but it's two actors in a room. And come to find out, actors like that is the best special effect you could ever have. And the more we worked on it, and the more, it took 4 years to make season 2. And that increasingly felt like, this just is holding. This is holding, and in fact, it's becoming the core story of season 2. And we give those guys a lot of credit in making it sing the way we always hoped it might have been, but that was still a chance.
And I'll tell a little bit of lore that's funny. Some kismet is that casting Charles Edwards was the most amazing sort of like happy, felicitous thing that happened. In that, like, it happened while we were in New Zealand during COVID, where we had to like bring this actor in. He was going to have a smaller part season 1 and was going to really grow season 2. And he happened to be there, already in New Zealand filming another project. And so it was among the pool of actors we could draw from while there were lockdowns happening. So we feel so fortunate that, like he was the one who ended up in that role, because he really just makes it sing season 2.
He's a Stradivarius, and you're watching him play.
So my last question, stepping into this world, lots of fan expectations, a lot of reactions, lots of love from the fans. How has working in Tolkien's world, how has working on this amazing, vast project impacted you as an artist, as a storyteller, and maybe even as a person?
All of the above. I think, we had some idea of what we were taking on. But it's funny. I was reading about the amazing writer who's been hired to do the Harry Potter show on HBO. And I'm like, you think but you don't know, in terms of how much this means to people. And it means different things to different people. And it can become very hard to juggle all those expectations and face them. And, wrangling a machine like this is an unbelievable undertaking that has stretched us as people and as writers in ways we never could have anticipated. But I always think about, this great quote that David Bowie has, which is, for an artist, I hate calling ourselves artists, but when you're in water that's too deep and you can't feel the bottom of the pool, that's actually when you're going to do some exciting work, because you're going to have to stretch and do things you didn't think you could do and learn how to do new things. And this show does that every single day in every single way, every single season.
I think I'll say there's a wisdom in Tolkien that is so deep and so much deeper than our own. And spending time, to extend Patrick's metaphor, swimming in those waters, absorbing that, lifetime's worth of work that he put into crafting Legendarium, you can't help but go away changed from it. We feel our own stories in each of these stories. You can't help but write about the sort of struggles of creation that Sauron and Celebrimbor go through without seeing yourself in both those characters in uncomfortable ways. You see what are the ways in which, as a partner, I could be like Sauron, where I'm not the best partner creatively in some way or another, or you end up, finding yourself in other characters sort of along the way, in, again, ways that are sometimes uncomfortable, and hold a mirror up to yourself. They do change you and change, your artistic experience, your artistic expression in a way that I think will last for the rest of our lives.
Well, thank you both so much. Thank you for that insight into your world. I'm really excited for season 3 when it comes. I'm already working on my costume. As you can see, I've got one part of it down for Comic-Con. When the time comes, I can't wait to speak with you again.
Can't wait. Thanks, man.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.